Jai Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. The reading from Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā, chapter 16, entitled The Lord's Attempt to Go to Vrindavan, text 208. Mādhava dāsa grihe tata shachira nandana. lakṣa-koṭi loka tata paila darśana. Mādhava dāsa grihe, at the house of Mādhava Das. Tata, there, Shachira Nandana, the son of Mother Shachi. lakṣa-koṭi loka, many hundreds of thousands of people. Tata, there, paila darśana, got his audience. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Śrīla Prabhupada ki. When the Lord stayed at the house of Mādhava Das, many hundreds of thousands of people came to see him. Purport. Mādhava Dasa is identified as follows. In the family of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā took his birth. Formerly, he and his family members lived in Bilvagrama and Patuli. From there, he went to Kuliyā, formerly known as Padapura. The eldest son of Yudhishthira Chattopadhyaya was known as Mādhava Dasa. The second son was called Haridas, and the youngest son was called Krishnapati Chattopadhyaya. The three brothers' nicknames were Chakadi, Tinakadi, and Dukadi. The grandson of Mādhava Das was named Vamshivadana, and during the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his grandson Ramachandra and their descendants were still living at Vaganapada or Vanchi. The translation of the verse again. When the Lord stayed at the house of Mādhava Das, many hundreds of thousands of people came to see him. Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy to be with all of you after a few years again. This verse is very interesting actually, although it looks very ordinary. It's about how the Lord went from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan. He wanted to go to Vrindavan for quite a long time, but he was tricked by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, what is his name? I'm forgetting all the time. They tricked Lord Caitanya not to go to Vrindavan. They didn't give their permission, and they kept him in Jagannath Puri for a long time, few years actually. They gave different reasons why not to go to Vrindavan. That for this time is a rainy season and you should stay here, and then it's too hot or it's too cold. different reasons why not to go. But finally, the Lord decided to go to Vrindavan, and at that time, Gadadhar Pandit also decided to go with him. But the Lord was not at all satisfied that Gadadhar Pandit would give up his kshetra sannyas. And But Gadadhar Pandit didn't care about his Kshetra sannyas. He wanted to go with the Lord. But when the Lord crossed the river, he said to him that you can't come with me. So stay here. And Gadadhar Pandit lost his consciousness. He just fell on the floor. Yes. And Ramananda Rai also. The Ramananda Rai was the other one who tricked the Lord. He was also forbidden to go with him, although they were extremely close. Gadadhar Pandit and Ramananda Rai, these two personalities, and of course Swarup Damodar Goswami, they were extremely close. But the Lord wanted to go alone to Vrindavan. And then he went first to Bengal to meet his devotees there, because regularly devotees would coming to they were coming to Jagannath Puri for this 4 months of rainy seasons, and stayed there for 4 months, and then they departed back to Bengal. And so Lord this time wanted to visit his devotees himself. And when he came to Bengal, thousands and thousands of people started to gather together. Actually, even great atheists and sinners were repenting their aversion to the Lord before, so they wanted to see him now and give up their sinful life. And this is actually great mercy of Lord Caitanya. We can see Lord Krishna, his system was to kill all the enemies, all the atheists that were opposing him. But Lord Caitanya didn't kill anyone. They killed just the mentality. And this is the purpose of Lord Caitanya's appearance, that he kills the sinful mentality. And we should allow the Lord to kill also our sinful mentality, or any mentality that puts ourselves in the center of our existence, because this is the real problem. All sinful life is actually centered in our own interest, separate interest from the Lord. And this is called pritak bhava. Pritak means separate, and bhava means existence. And immediately, when we put ourselves in the center of our existence, actually we put out the Lord from our existence. And so if we have this idea, my family is important, or my own body is more important than the Lord, then we just suffer. But then we suffer. It's not possible otherwise. If we maintain this pritak bhava. So the Lord is coming with his mood of audarya, of great mercy and magnanimous, and attracts every living entity. The Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, he attracted everyone by his madhurya, by his sweetness. Yes, he played his flute, and no one could resist the sweet voice of his flute. Not even animals. And gopis, we know, they left everything. They left their homes, they left their families, they left everything on the spot. Yeah. They didn't think twice. I just have to finish this particular chore. I just have to serve my in-laws to the end. But no, they just left everything on the spot and went to Krishna. And here, so Lord Krishna attracted everyone by his Madhurya, and Lord Caitanya also attracted everyone by his Audarya, by his magnanimous mercy to everyone. So here Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is writing on different places that he will not go into detail because Vrindavan Das Thakur has already explained everything. And Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat is explaining how suddenly everyone wanted to see Lord Caitanya when he came to Bengal, and they were running to the places where the Lord stayed, and one of the houses was Mādhava Dasa's house. So this is another important instruction, that the Lord, where the Lord is and his devotees are, there is the holy place. The holy place in itself, in geographical sense, is not the holy place actually, if there is devoid of Lord's mercy and his devotees. Yes. It is explained in Bhagavatam. Bhavat vida Bhagavata Stirtha Bhutak Swamibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani Svantakstena Katavata. That yes, where you are, the Yudhishthir, Maharaj Yudhishthir said to Vidura, wherever you are, there is a holy place. Yes, because the Lord's saints are carrying the Lord in their hearts. So it's important for us also, we are called to be saintly. Yes. We are not meant to be materialistic people. We are not here just to fulfill our need to be religious. We should understand this. Many people, of course, come, especially to Bhaktivedanta Manor, just to fulfill their need to be religious. Yes, but we shouldn't stay on this platform, because this platform is remaining our pritak bhava, our separate identity from the Lord. And we'll just continue our material existence, life after life after life. It's not possible to go beyond it in this way. So we also should open our heart to receive the Lord. And the most powerful process in this age is chanting of the holy name. Yes, as we have just chanted together. And here also, many thousands of people came together to glorify the Lord. And this is especially the process in Kali Yuga, to come together and glorify the Lord. And this is the real tirtha, the real holy place. But we should know, these places in our temples are not just tirtha, they are Vrindavan itself. Yes, because wherever there is Radha and Krishna, there is Vrindavan. Radha and Krishna, they don't go out of Vrindavan, not even for a moment. Therefore, yes, this is Vrindavan. We should have this vision. This is Vrindavan. And when we chant the holy name, this is also Vrindavan, because Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna together. So it is very confidential, because Radha and Krishna are not together usually in public. They are very careful that no one would see that they are together. So yes, here they are together. Radha Gokulananda are together. So it's very confidential place. Yes, place of intimate pastimes of the Lord. So we should also create intimate space in our heart and perceive our life as just service to Radha Gokulananda. Yes. But this is possible only if we go deep in our spiritual practice. It's not possible otherwise. Just that we hear something interesting. Yes, this is interesting. But we should go deep in our chantings, especially of the holy name. And what does this deep chanting mean? Means that we just chant and not do anything else besides chanting. Especially not scrolling on the phone. Yes. The phone is ultimate distractor of age of Kali. Yes. So when you chant, put it away. Yes. Switch it off. No sound should come from the phone. Yes. Switch it off and put it away in another room and lock it. And don't talk to anyone during your chanting. Yes. Because if you talk, it's not possible to create an intimate space in our heart. Yes, we should know. And chanting of the holy name is something very intimate. It's actually most intimate service to the Lord. So as it is said that actually Nikunja Seva is chanting of the holy name. Yes. So we should take it seriously and chant with full attention. And just the problem is that people many times, many devotees even, they tend to, or I can say, we tend to take everything in this material world as something mechanical. Yes. For example, if you take some machine and you roll the handle like this, and the machine works. And you can scroll the phone, no problem, machine still works. But relationships are not something of mechanics. Yes, they're personal. Everything spiritual is personal. There is nothing mechanical in spiritual existence. Yes, therefore, if we try to apply this attitude, mechanical attitude, to any personal relationship, it will be destroyed. Yes. Even if you're behaving like this to your friends, you'll destroy your relationship with your friends. What to speak of intimate relationship? If you try to be mechanical in your relationship, it will be destroyed. Or can you just imagine, chanting of the holy name is actually most intimate time with the Lord. Yes, you can't imagine more intimate time with the Lord. And you can just imagine you can be with your wife or husband in the most intimate setting, and you start to scroll the phone. It's actually offensive, isn't it? Or talk to anyone else. And if nothing else, it at least definitely kills intimacy. Yes. So, therefore, we should be very careful to go deep in our relationship. Completely dedicated to chanting of the holy name. Yes. This is extremely important to understand. And here we can see that these devotees went eagerly to see the Lord. They forgot everything else. Their only focus was how can I see him? How can I cross the river? So many thousands came to the banks of the river and they wanted to cross. But the boats were very small, were not designed for thousands of people. And they didn't try to wait for another boat or for this boat to cross and come back together another group of people. They were jumping on these boats in hundreds and thousands. And of course, the boats just sank. And these people, and usually in India, very seldomly we see that people can swim. But at that time, everyone could swim. No problem. They forgot that they can't swim. They were grabbing different things also to be able to swim across the river. Different logs, and Jai Shri Radha Gokula Nanda ki Jai, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Garanitai ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Hari Bol. Yes, they were grabbing for different logs and parts of these boats that fell apart. Yes, these boats fell apart, were destroyed. And they were running through jungles, yes, through thorny bushes, and new roads were created because these roads were too small for the crowds. So they were running directly through forests, and they just new road was emerging. Hare Krishna. Everyone was oblivious of his condition. And by Krishna's mercy, no one drowned in these rivers. No one was hurt in these forests. Yes, although there were jungles, of course. And when the people came to the house where the Lord stayed, they climbed the trees all around. And by the Lord's mercy, these branches were able to hold them. The branches didn't break. Yes, and they were standing on the roofs of different houses, and these houses didn't collapse. Yes, although there were thousands and thousands of people. Yeah. And so, yes, they came to see the Lord and glorify the Lord together. They were chanting the holy name on the tops of their lungs. Yes. So this is the process of Harinam Sankirtan. Yeah. That everyone is chanting completely oblivious to this world. But the Lord, in the beginning of his pastimes, he didn't perform public kirtan. He started to have only very confidential kirtans in the house of Srivas Thakur. So yes, therefore it's important to take this example that we should also go very deep in our spiritual practice, which is very confidential. Yes. If possible at all, we should sit somewhere peacefully, not to be disturbed, and just chant. So it is very beneficial to get up very, very early in the morning, because if we get up early in the morning, no one will disturb us. Otherwise, when we get up too late, everyone wants something from us, usually. Yes. Comes to us and want to discuss something important. So we have to break our chanting just to attend these different duties. Yes. Because we can't just ignore people. So to be able to chant properly, with full attention, to be able to go deep in our spiritual practice, we should get up very early in the morning. Yes, and even the atmosphere is much, much more peaceful in early mornings everyone has this experience, I hope. Yes. Early mornings are extremely peaceful. Everyone is sleeping. So it's very good to get up early and just chant. If possible, all rounds before Mangalarati. This is the best. But even if we chant after Mangalarati, no problem if we have quiet place. Yes. To just focus on the holy name with this prayerful mood. Krishna, O Srimati Radharani, please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. This is extremely simple prayer that Prabhupada gave us, but it's extremely deep. Very simple, but can be used for complete neophyte who came today to Krishna consciousness, and also the most advanced devotees. Yes. Because this is the real prayer. Please engage me in your service. Yes. This is our natural position, is to serve. Actually, everyone is serving. Even most ardent atheist is just serving all the time, 24 hours a day, knowingly or unknowingly. If no one else, he serves his body, he serves his mind and ideas. So everyone is serving. So just accept this fact that I'm a servant, and everything will be perfect. That I'm a servant of Krishna, and that everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. So, therefore, I should serve everyone, every living entity. That doesn't mean that we serve according to the crazy whims of conditioned souls, but we should act actually as a physician. A physician doesn't serve the ideas of a patient. Maybe a patient has crazy ideas what is good for him, but a doctor serves a patient accordingly in the way that patient could be cured as soon as possible. So this should be also our approach to service of conditioned souls, that we cure them as soon as possible. Yes. Yes, this is important to understand. Otherwise, we can see this purport, today's purport, on the surface, on this material level. This purport doesn't very much entitle us, does it? It speaks about his family members and descendants of Mādhava Das. And no one knows this family personally, I believe. Maybe some extremely fortunate person. Is there anyone who knows personally any descendants of Mādhava Das? No. No one, not even one. So, doesn't relate very much to our situation, does it? Yes, but scriptures are many times full of these descriptions of different dynasties. Yes, for example, 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are pages and pages of different descendants of different great people. Yes. And it is important to understand there are many layers of these descriptions. One is, of course, because they are descendants of great personalities, and therefore just to hear their names we become purified. But on the other hand, we should understand even the most great personalities, they're just vanished. in the due course of time. Yes. So we may think my situation is very important for me. Yes. But it's just a dream, actually. Not much different. And will be just destroyed the next moment. All my situation. Yes. When one is little older, he can understand. Just yesterday, I have this feeling. Just yesterday I was in school. But when I think deeper, it was how many years ago? I was in secondary school. It's nearly 40 years ago. Yes, I thought that it was 30 years ago, but then I realized it's not 30, it's 40. Yes, time just flies by. Yes. And father of my Gurudev, when he was 100 years old, he said, I can't understand why life is so short. Yes. Hare Krishna. So, life is extremely short on material level. Of course, we know it's eternal. But we shouldn't take material existence very seriously. Yes. Most important instruction in our life is to connect with the Lord. Everything else will be destroyed, sooner or later. All our family relationships will be destroyed. Yes, our relationship with father and mother will be destroyed. Our relationship with our husband or wife will be destroyed. Our relationship with our children will be destroyed. Everything will be destroyed. So it's just illusion if you think that this particular set of life and circumstances will make me happy. Ultimately, more happiness that we derive from these settlements, more we suffer when we lose them. And we'll definitely lose them. Yes. And it comes just like this. I remember in few years, everyone that was close to me, my father and mother and uncle and my grandmother, everyone died in few years only. Yes. And I remember I was walking in the place where my mother grew up, and I was visiting this place quite frequently because my grandmother was there, and I spent much of my time with her. And I was walking through these places, and they were completely empty of all people I knew. I was thinking, where all these people have gone? My God. Yes. But when you live together, you can't think of these terms. Yes. So devotees should understand this, that my material situation is like a dream and will be soon be finished. Soon it will be finished. So rather I should establish deep relationship with the Lord. This is the only relationship that can last forever. Therefore, we should establish deep relationship with the Lord. If we don't have deep relationship with the Lord, people of this age, they think, not in every religion actually, they think that religious life is some sort of miracle. Yes, and the death is the ultimate miracle. That I will live my life according to my desires, and usually quite materialistic. Even if people are pious, they're usually quite materialistic. And they think at the time of death, I will go to heaven or a spiritual world or something like this. Yes, I'm coming from Christian background. And majority of these Christians, they live just normal material life. But they think, I'm a good person, and at the time of death, I'll go to heaven. Yes. And we can hear also devotees speak in this way. Yes, Lord is very merciful, even if I don't chant very nicely, but Lord is merciful, and at the end of life, I'll go to spiritual world. But this is faith in some miracle, isn't it? Yes, that death can change our consciousness. This is not according to Krishna's teaching. Krishna is teaching that yam yam vapismaram bhavan tyajantanti kalivaram tam tam aveti kanda sadatat bhava bhavita. Whatever state of consciousness we have at the time of death will just continue. No miracle. We just continue our state of existence without doubt, Krishna says. So, if we just catch our rounds all day long, there is no actually relationship with the Lord. We don't have any relationship, deep relationship. Everything is just on the surface. Yes. And we maintain our unlimited material desires. From time immemorial, we have unlimited material desires. So, if we don't go deep, it's not possible to give them up. Not possible even to start a desire to give them up. It's something completely beyond our imagination to give them up. We just rely on the Lord's mercy. But has the Lord become merciful just recently? Or He is eternally merciful? Eternally merciful. But we are still in material world. How is it? Yes. Because this is our desire. We are here because of our desire. And so if we don't go deep in our spiritual life, it's not possible to give up desire for material happiness. We'll maintain it. Yes, it's natural. It's natural because we are anandamayo vyasat. We are living entities of pleasure, of happiness. And as long as we don't experience spiritual happiness, spiritual pleasure, we'll definitely seek pleasure on the material level. Yes. Therefore Krishna says, Vishaya vinivartanti niraharasya dehina rasa varjam rasopasya parandrishva nivartate. Even if we are very fixed in our determination, but if we don't taste anything higher, we'll definitely try to taste what we have already accustomed to taste. Yes. Material pleasures. We can't give them up because we have to be happy. We have to experience some pleasure. This is our nature. So, but it's not possible to taste anything higher without absorption. You can't taste anything without absorption. Everyone has this experience. For example, if we eat something in haste, when we finish eating, we just realize that I haven't tasted anything. Isn't it? Do you have this experience? Yes. Or suddenly we realize that I have some pain somewhere, but I can't remember where I bumped somewhere, but I don't know where. Do you have this experience? Yes. I just see that something is hurting me, but I don't know where I got this. So our consciousness was not present at that moment. We were fixed on something else. So we couldn't notice anything. It's the same in spiritual life also. If we don't get absorbed in our spiritual life, we will not taste anything. Yes. Our consciousness is somewhere else, so it's not possible to taste. Yes. Therefore, it's crucial for our spiritual life to go deep in our relationship with the Lord, to go deep in our sadhana. Because sadhana, bhakti, is our only connection with the Lord. There is no other connection than sadhana for a conditioned soul. Yes. The goal is to always remember Krishna, to be always connected with the Lord. As Krishna explains in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhi niveshaya nivasishesi meva aturdvama samshaya. One should mayeva mana adatsva. One should engage his mind in me. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. And one should dwell with his intelligence in me. And thus you will be always with me. Yes, without doubt. But he says then, atarchitam samadhatum nashaknoshi maistiram abhyasa yogana tato mami chaptam dhananjaya. If you are not able to be in such a samadhi all the time, and of course it's not easy to be in such a samadhi for a conditioned soul all the time, then abhyasa yogana tato mami chaptam dhananjaya. Engage in abhyasa yoga, in practice, in sadhana bhakti. Then you will develop desire to attain me. And when we develop desire to attain the Lord, then we are fortunate. Yes, we have to develop desire, great desire. But without practice it's not possible. Because our existence is designed, our material body, our material intelligence, our material mind, they're all designed for material survival, aren't they? Yes. And since they're designed for material survival, they will go against our endeavors for spiritual perfection. Usually. Because spiritual life means something against material life. Actually, spiritual life is completely against, opposite of material life. Yeah. Lord Caitanya is teaching Trinada Pisunichana Taroriva Sahishrana Amanina Manadina Kirtanya Ustahari. If one wants to open the door of spiritual life, one has to become more humble than a blade of grass and as tolerant as a tree. And he shouldn't expect any respect for himself, but should give all respect to others. And if we think deeply, this instruction of Lord Caitanya is completely against our material existence. Yes. Trinada Pisunichana. How it's possible to be more humble than a blade of grass? Is it possible? Or is it just some comparison or parable? What do you think? Is it possible to be more humble than a blade of grass?
Yes.
Sorry? Is teaching you? Yes, yes. Especially when you're older. Yes. You naturally bow. bow down. Yes, Hare Krishna. What you wanted to say?
Also, when every night when you go to sleep,
Yes.
then we turn off our consciousness about me.
Yes.
So every night when you go to sleep, I'm not there, but who is there when I exist? So
Yes.
then this humbles ourselves as well.
If you think it deeply. Yes.
So if you can keep this idea during the day as well, from time to time, like, what am I? Do I exist? And if I am like in a state of deep sleep, where I don't feel anything, yet I am there, then you are humble and you can achieve everything with complete ease. Maybe this could be a technique as well.
Yes. Any meditation on our insignificance is beneficial. We should understand this. But actually, what does it mean to be more humble than a blade of grass? A blade of grass actually is fighting for its existence with other blades of grass. Yes. We can walk on the grass and it doesn't protest. But it fights for its living space with our grasses. Yes. So a devotee doesn't fight for his existence because he knows I have eternal existence, and I shouldn't fight for my material existence. Why should I fight for material existence? Prabhupada in one of his purports explains that this was his lecture, is being more humble than a blade of grass and as tolerant as a tree, means in different ways. First, that we don't protest. We shouldn't protest at any time, regardless what is happening to me. It's a very difficult exercise, isn't it? Not to protest. And the other thing is not to ask for anything. Yes, the tree is standing in scorching heat and maybe doesn't get any water for months, but doesn't ask you for water. You come to take some service from the tree, to take a shade or some fruits from the tree, or even wood from the tree. The tree wouldn't protest. And it also doesn't ask you anything. Doesn't ask for water, doesn't ask for anything. Yes, even if it's on the verge of death. So yes, this should be our attitude. I shouldn't protest if I'm disrespected. Usually we protest very much if you are disrespected. This is natural reaction. As I said, our mind and our consciousness designed for our material survival. So if you are accused of something that we haven't done, for example, or many times even if what we have really done, we try to see excuses to explain why it's like this. But if we are able not to protest at all, not to defend at all, then we can make rapid spiritual advancement, extremely quick. Yes, this is the secret of success. Tateno kampan susamiksham bunjana vatma kritam vipakam hritvakva purbirvedatanam aste jivetayo mukti pade satayabhak. It is explained by Lord Brahma in 14th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam of 10th canto, how a devotee accepts everything as Lord's mercy, even most painful reversals in his life. And he's glorifying the Lord. And he's grateful in his heart for this mercy. It can be painful, but actually if you think deeply, this pain relates only to the body and mind. Doesn't touch the soul, really. Is it? Touching the soul? No, not at all. Even if we die, actually, doesn't touch the soul. So our struggle to maintain our material existence is against our spiritual life. We should understand this. But on the other hand, we know if we are not respected properly, our social life is endangered. And so, since we are social animals, it's impossible to give up this defending mentality if we don't connect with the Lord deeply. Only if you are connected deeply with the Lord is possible to give up this instinct for material survival, these automatic reactions that helps us survive materially. So one who wants to go deep in spiritual life, one who wants to be the beneficiary of Lord's mercy, he has to understand, my life is only my relationship with the Lord, not these material circumstances that I live in. So I should give up this fighting mentality on the material plane. We can fight and we can risk our life for the purpose of service to our spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we should risk our life for this purpose. We should give up everything and just fight for this purpose, but not for our material existence. Immediately when we try to defend our material existence, we lose our spiritual existence. It's simple. As Lord Jesus said, one who tries to find his life, he will lose it. And one who he will lose his life, he will find it. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, yes, if we will connect to the Lord deeply, in this way, that these thousands of people who came to see Lord Caitanya, we should also come to see Lord Caitanya and Shri Radha Gokulananda, not just with our eyes. Our relationship with the Lord is not so cheap. We can't connect through material eyes. This is not possible. Lord is mercifully manifesting in such a way that we can see Him through our eyes. But we should understand that our relationship is on a spiritual platform. Therefore, I should establish spiritual connection, not just this connection through the eyes. So we should come to see the Lord regularly, all the time actually, 24 hours a day. We should be intimate servants of the Lord. We said in the beginning of our class that this place, like temples, Radha Krishna temples, and our heart, when we chant the holy name, and Kirtanya Sadahari, we should always chant, is the intimate place of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Therefore we should be the intimate servants. This is actually the purpose why Lord Caitanya came. It's explained in the very beginning of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta that the Lord is not satisfied with these rules and regulations, that he is most satisfied with intimate service. Therefore, he came to establish Raga Marga, or the path of attachment to the Lord, of deep attachment. So we should become deeply attached. But it's not possible if we don't go deep in our chanting, especially chanting. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please.
Thank you so much for really quite a challenging class to sit in, which is a sign that it's spoken from realization. I just wanted to notice, describing all these personalities coming to see the Lord with such enthusiasm, climbing on the boats and the trees. So, what is the source of enthusiasm?
It's Krishna's mercy. Tatat bhavadi madhurye shrutadirata pekshite natra shastrim na yuktrim cha tad lobopati lakshanam. That we develop this great loba or greed for the Lord by mercy. It is explained in the next verse. Krishna tad bhakta karunya matra lobeika hetuka pushti margataya keshit iyam raga nagochate. Krishna tat bhakta karunya, by mercy of Krishna and his devotee, we get this eagerness, this enthusiasm, and we develop attachment. So anyone that comes in contact with this process is recipient of mercy, actually. But then depends on us whether we would open our heart to receive full mercy, or we just receive it by drops. Yes. Mercy is available for everyone, but if we take instructions given by Prabhupada and our spiritual master, and all the previous acharyas, and finally Lord himself, if we open our heart for this instruction, then we are recipients of full mercy, and we get more and more enthusiastic. In the beginning, Krishna gives some enthusiasm, but this enthusiasm is, as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains in Madhurya Kadambini, is false enthusiasm, not really substantial enthusiasm. Yes, utsahamayi seems like enthusiasm, but then Krishna withdraw it, and then we have to become serious ourselves. So enthusiasm comes by the mercy of the Lord, but maintenance of enthusiasm depends on our endeavor also. It's the same like Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna, and we know from this pastime that the rope was always 2 fingers too short. Yes. Regardless of how many ropes she collected and tied them together, the rope was still 2 fingers too short. And our acharyas explain that these 2 fingers represent our endeavor, and the other finger is Krishna's mercy. Because Krishna doesn't want to be bound. Yes. Krishna wants to be free. And bhakti is Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, is so powerful, it binds the Lord. So, therefore, it is explained in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Muktim dadate garhishits mana bhakti yogam. I easily give mukti or liberation, but not bhakti. Yes, because it's more powerful than the Lord. Lord is Krishna, the all-attractive one. But bhakti is Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. It attracts the all-attractive one. So it's more powerful than Krishna himself. So it's not easily available. You have to endeavor for it. You have to cry for it. You have to dedicate your life for it. And therefore, our endeavor is crucial in this regard. First, we'll get some mercy and enthusiasm, but if we don't work on this enthusiasm, if we neglect it, then it will be much harder later on to pick it up again. So, if at all we have any enthusiasm in our heart, we should just fan it and not give it up, not even for a moment. But this is possible only if we maintain good association. If we don't have good association of devotees who are dedicated to serve the Lord with all their hearts, it will not be possible, or our enthusiasm will also go down. Yes, therefore it's very important. Our association will determine our life. Therefore, in Prima Bhakti Chandrika, Narottam Das Thakur explains that we should give up the association of non-devotees, and even of mixed devotees. Yes, so those who are not on the path of pure devotional service should be given up their association. Yes. So we should remain fixed on the path of pure devotional service. This is the instruction. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary, he says that one should not associate with non-devotees even in danger. Hare Krishna. So, association is extremely important. And association doesn't mean only physical association. We can also hear from pure devotees their instructions. And of course, but we should also have physical association of devotees regularly, and never associate with materialists. And that means also this online association of materialists. This is especially important in modern days, yes, because this social media is full of asatsanga, of materialistic association. So I encourage everyone to just give up all this social media. Yes. One may think it's not possible, but it is. 10 years ago, there hardly was anyone new for this social media. They were not very much known at that time, at least for me. I don't know for you, 10 years ago. But now people think that they can't live without them. It's craziness. It's just another dream. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, these verses you quoted, what are those verses?
Which verses?
Bhakti Marg, I can't remember
Oh yes, they're from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yes. Krishna tat bhakta karunya matra lobeka hetuka pushti margataya keshchit iyam raga nagochate. We can acquire raga bhakti by mercy of Krishna, either Krishna or his devotee, or both. And the same is stated in Caitanya-caritāmṛta also. Therefore, it is called Pushti Marga Taya Keshchit, Pushti Marga, the path of mercy. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
It's also to realize that we've got to develop attachment for service.
Yes.
And because I remember a question that was asked of, I think it was Pankajani, and they said, how do we know that we're making advancement? And he said that actually, if I said, from now on, you do not chant. From now on, you must not read the Bhagavad Gita. How would you feel? And then he left it for them to make the decision.
Yes.
To find that, you start to realize it's like missing a lost long service. Jiva Bhatti here do the same thing. He in his lectures or life story, he mentioned about how there was one particular occasion. Every now and then, when he go to the temple, sometimes he bleep. And then he said that one day, when he heard the greeting of the deities, he started shaking.
What he heard?
He started shaking and crying.
But you mentioned that he heard something.
Yeah, he was a long-serving Pujari here, and in his mention just before his interview, before he passed away, that there was one thing that convinced him, was this one moment that he said he couldn't control himself. Those revelations, he experienced that. And it was that kept him going in his life. That one little moment.
Yes.
Because he had a very hard life, health-wise and everything. He was even cleaning all the pots and stuff like that. Just to, the Charna-Mita tables right to the end. He was attached to service, no matter what it was.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, attachment to service. This is a sign, actually, that we understood that we are just servant. If you are not attached to service, it's just charade, this spiritual life. Just a joke. We should be attached to service. There are, of course, different types of services. So, yes, no, but menial services are also very good, especially the cleaning of the temple floor. It's very good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this class. I had a question in regards to, for those of us that aren't brahmacharis or brahmacharinis, when one goes outside and works, etc., I think many of us want to be seen in a different way, and even perhaps in service, there may be that part of us that wants to be seen, to be doing, even if it comes from a sincere place. So what's something practical that we can do in our day-to-day lives to overcome that?
And this desire to be seen, to be recognized, if I understood it correctly.
Yes, whether it's for success, whether it's for in our relationships, whether it's for something else.
Yes.
When we realise that, we still want to progress, perhaps even
Yes.
materially, And a spiritual life.
Actually, we shouldn't have material life. If we have it, it means that we are separated from the Lord. Our life should be dedicated for the Lord's service, even if we are grihastas. Then we should know the purpose of my life is to be Krishna conscious, and my service to the Lord is to make my children Krishna conscious also. And my children can't become Krishna conscious if I'm not Krishna conscious. If they don't see example of Krishna consciousness in me, if I don't take it very seriously, if I'm catching my rounds all day long, they will perceive Krishna consciousness as a burden. And no one wants to be burdened. Yes, no one wants to be burdened. So, life is burdensome by itself, isn't it? So we should take Krishna consciousness very seriously. And we should chant and teach our children to chant and dedicate our life for Krishna's service. We shouldn't hanker for material pleasures. There should be no pleasure outside Krishna consciousness, actually. And if we go deep in our relationship with the Lord, then of course it's not possible immediately to give up these ideas, these desires, but we can engage them in Krishna consciousness. So we can use our work outside for spreading Krishna consciousness to ourselves and to others, and to maintain our family, which should be Krishna conscious. Yes, and deeper than we go in our spiritual life, more we can understand this, more we can practice it practically in everyday's life. Otherwise it will be just theoretical. You understand? It will not be of any practical use. So my deep chanting will help me to change my life step by step, that I endeavor in this direction. Otherwise it will remain theoretical all the time, and all my spiritual life will be just theoretical. So I should understand that this chanting is most practical. As long as I perceive this chanting as a theoretical solution, my spiritual life is theoretical only. But when I see that this chanting is practical solution, my spiritual life is practical. But it can become practical only if we are deeply connected. Otherwise it's not possible. So all the time we are coming back to this same principle, that I should deeply establish my connection with the Lord through chanting in the morning, and then engage also in other services. Yes. Then it's possible to change our attitude also in this outer world. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes.
Thank you for the amazing class. I was wondering which service you were talking about being absorbed in sadhana. Then, in terms of service, which service should one do?
As I've heard, Kadamba Kanana Maharaj once said that brahmachari means yes man. So as a brahmachari you do the needful. But if you are grihasta and coming to the temple, you also do the needful. And if you are grihasta, engage whole your family in the temple service. As this is important. Sometimes we can see that father or mother comes alone to the temple and performs some service. But this is not very good. Or performs some deity worship at home, alone. Yes, I've seen so many cases that father has some shalagram shila or something, and only he himself is engaged in service of these shilas. But no, the whole family should have responsibilities for the deities, be engaged in practical service. So, when, for example, I can give you my example. When in Slovenia we have a system that different Sangha groups are cooking for Sunday feast. And so when it was our turn, I didn't come alone to the temple to cook, but all my family came there every time. Even small children, they could cut the vegetables and help in so many ways. When there was cleaning of the temple for the festivals, we came all together. Not that just I came there, but all together. Even small children can help something, and they can understand they are engaged in service, and only through service any realization can come. And only through service we can establish real friendships and relationships. It's not possible without any service together that we can have deeper, meaningful relationships. So, yes, any service can be done. If you are asked for some service, if you don't have any other important service, we can do it. Yes. If we have other important service, we can say, of course, I can do it some other time, but now I have this particular service. So we shouldn't accept any service. There is no higher or lower services. All services are transcendental, are pleasing to the Lord. And especially if we engage in these menial services, the Lord is very pleased, because then He understands that yes, this particular devotee is humble. Like King Prataparudra, he performed extremely responsible service for the Lord as a king. But especially when he took a broom and he was sweeping the floor in front of the Jagannath's cart, the Lord was especially pleased with his menial service. Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.